This is a production of Point Loma Publications Incorporated, Post Office Box 9966, Pacific Beach, California, 92109. A Glossary of Sanskrit Terms by Geoffrey A. Barborka, giving the right pronunciation and the meanings of the Sanskrit terms found in theosophical literature. Those having the booklet will notice that the tape recording begins on page 7, the pronunciation chart.
Here follows the pronunciation chart. A, sonata, organ. In the Sanskrit word aham. Long A. Arms, far. Sanskrit word atman. I, as in die, isle, Daivi Prakriti. Au, now, house, aum. B is pronounced as bod. Bodhi is the Sanskrit word. BH, abhorrence, bhumi. CH, chosen, chohan. Chha, watchhound, chhaya. D as in dare, devachan. Dha, adherence, dharmakaya. DHY is pronounced the same as above, as though Y were added after Dya. Dhyana. DZ, Ads, Dhyan. English E as in grey, Devanagari. English G as in God, Gana. GH, Leghorn, Gharma. English H as in Hansard, Hansa. The H with a breathing, as in final aspirated H as in Loch. So we pronounce Brahma, Brich. English I as in pity, Pitri. Long I as in sheer, Sharira. English J as jeer, Jiva. K as in calm or car, Kama. KH, pronounced as in inkhorn, Sanskrit word Kechara. KSH, buckshot, Kshetrajna. English L as in local, Sanskrit word Loka. M as in mundane, Manvantara. N as in need, Nidana. NG as in linger, Linga Sharira. N with a tilde over the accent, onion. Sanjna is the Sanskrit word. O as in no, Soma. P as in poor, Purusha. PH, upheaval, Phala. English R as in root, Rupa. S as in satire, Satya. Accented S, Ashur or Shloka. SH as in sheen, Shista. T, talent, Tala. TH, left-handed, Sthula Sharira. English U as in pull, Upadhi. Long U, pool, Surya. V as in vain, Veda, concluding with Y, U, Yuga. Now the glossary. This glossary was prepared originally as a tape recording for those who wanted to hear the correct pronunciation of the Sanskrit terms as well as their meaning. Then requests came for a printed text to accompany the tape, and this booklet is in response to this. It can be used in following the oral presentation, but it also stands complete by itself. There is an important reason for pronouncing a Sanskrit word with its proper svara or sound value. When that is known, there ensues a greater appreciation of the ancient terms, which are used so effectively to convey the teachings of theosophy. And the student will then more consciously be inclined to make an effort to learn them and to seek to pronounce them correctly. The Sanskrit language, and especially the terms which explain the teachings of the ancient wisdom, represent the culmination of the wisdom of the preceding race, the fourth race, handed on to the loftiest initiates of the present race, the fifth race. Thus, very often the Sanskrit term contains a key thought, enabling one to have a better grasp of the teaching which that word expresses. Therefore, in epitomizing a teaching in a key word, those great sages had in mind three factors. First, the root meaning of the term embodying the idea with potent significance. Second, the svara, the mystic sound value of the word. Third, the mantrika shakti, the force or power of letters, speech, or sound. Having the knowledge of these three factors enables one to produce what may be termed magical results. While it is true that the mantrika shakti has been lost, and very likely the svara also, nevertheless, as close an approximation as possible to the right sound should be made in connection with Sanskrit terms to gain the first two factors mentioned. Let us first give a little attention to the Sanskrit alphabet, for this will also assist one in learning the correct pronunciation. The Sanskrit alphabet differs from the English in that all the vowels are listed prior to the consonants. The first three vowels have both a short form and a long form. These are followed by semi-diphthongs and true diphthongs. Here are the pronunciations of the vowels, using English words to illustrate the sound values. Short A as in sofa. The long A is indicated by means of a macron accent, or the French circumflex accent, and pronounced as the A in far. Short I as in tin. Long I as in teeny. Short U as in pull. Long U as in pool. The E in English is a semi-diphthong and pronounced as in the word day, hence deva. AI is a diphthong, as in the word isle, hence daivi prakriti. The O is a semi-diphthong, pronounced as the word no, hence soma. AU is a diphthong, as in house, hence aum. The consonants follow the vowels and are arranged systematically in Sanskrit according to their manner of formation. They commence with the consonants which are pronounced farthest back in the mouth, known as the gutturals, as in come and go, with aspirates for each. Next the palatals, as in chair and jeer, with their aspirates. These are followed by the cerebrals and dentals. The examples of these may be noted by recognizing the difference between the English words tooth and thin, din and need. Next are the labials, which are pronounced with the lips, as in pin, bean, mean. Next are four semivowels, ya, ra, la, va, as in yellow, red, lavender, and violet. The sibilants and aspirate complete the list, as in assure, shore, some. The true aspirated H is pronounced as the Scotch word loch, Let us now repeat the most used Sanskrit terms in theosophy, using the English alphabetical order, therefore commencing with A. The first word has 3 short A's, abhaya, meaning non-fearing. The next word has 2 long A's and a final short A, acharya, teacher. The next word has an aspirated D followed by a Y, which most people have difficulty in pronouncing. Thus, Adhyatman, the Supreme Self. Adhyaya, a chapter of a book. Adi Buddha, the Supreme Buddha. Adi Buddhi, divine wisdom. Notice the aspirated B in the following word. Adi Bhuta, original element principle, which is also the significance of Adi Tattva. Aditi, space. Aditya, the sun. Advaita, non-duality. Agni, fire. Agnishvata, solar petri. Notice the aspirated H in the 3 following mantras. Aham asmi parabrahma. I am the boundless. Aham brahmasmi. I am Brahman. Aham eva parabrahma. I am verily the boundless. Ahankara, egoity. Ahimsa, non-injury. Akasha, primordial spatial substance. Akasha Tattva, the element principle which is named ether. Akshara, the imperishable. Alaya, indissoluble, that is equivalent to Akasha. Amitabha, the name of a Dhyani Buddha, meaning the Buddha of boundless light. Amrita, non-dying, hence immortal. Anagamin, non-coming, hence one who will not be reincarnated again. Anahata Shabda, a non-beating sound. Ananda, bliss. Anandamaya Kosha, the sheath, kosha, built of bliss, hence the sheath of buddhi. Anda, an egg, used in connection with Brahmanda, the egg of Brahma, that is the solar system. Angaraka, the name of the planet Mars. Annamaya Kosha. Here is another of the Vedantic sheaths or koshas, into which man is divisible. The literal meaning of Annamaya Kosha is the sheath built of food, hence the physical body. Antahkarana, which is more frequently written as Antaskarana, literally between, antar, the acting, karana, which is derived from the verbal root kri, to do, to act, hence the intermediate instrument. Antahkarana is usually regarded by H.P. Blavatsky as the bridge between the lower manas and higher manas, that path which lies between thy spirit and thyself, as the voice of the silence expresses it. Anu, literally infinitesimal, although the word is usually rendered as atom. However, in the next word, the first syllable, an, signifies the negative particle, an, upapadaka, literally not proceeding in regular succession. However, the term is generally rendered parentless. In connection with the tattvas, it signifies the spiritual element principle, the second in the series of the 7 tattvas. The first is named Adi Tattva, or the divine element principle. The next term is also one of a series of 7, namely apana, literally that which is breathed away, for up means away, an to breathe. It is one of the 7 vital pranas, translated vital airs. Apana is the prana which carries away the waste products of the human body. Apas tattva is another of the 7 element principles, signifying the element principle of water, the 6th in the emanational unfoldment of the principles. Aranyaka, literally forest writing, used especially in connection with the Upanishad so named, namely the Aranyaka Upanishad. Ardhamatra, literally the half meter. The term is used in connection with the sacred word Aum and signifies the shifting tone occurring between the 2 syllables when pronouncing the sacred word in order to indicate the 3 tones, A, U, M. Arhan, an alternative form for Arhat. This word literally means the worthy one who has attained the highest degree of spirituality. Arhat in Buddhism is applied to a direct disciple of the Buddha. Arjuna, the hero of the Bhagavad Gita and disciple of Krishna. Arupa, literally without form, that is a form from the standpoint of the physical plane. Arya, literally the worthy, the holy one. It is the basis of the word Aryan, literally the worthy race. Again, it is present in Aryavarta, which is the ancient name given to northern and central India. Arya Sangha is the name of a direct disciple of Gautama the Buddha. Asana, a word derived from as, to sit, hence a posture. It is one of the 8 stages of yoga. Asat, literally the non-real, when used as the opposite of sat, reality. Ashta, the number 8. Ashrama, a sacred abode or hermitage. The word is derived from ashram, to counsel, or again to commune with one's self. Astika, a believer, usually rendered one who believes in gods. Asura, a word with a dual meaning, in the Vedas a divine spirit, in later exoteric literature a demon. Asuramaya, regarded as an Atlantean astronomer, the author of the Surya Siddhanta, an ancient astronomical work. Ashvata, the mystic tree of life, which is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Atala, the highest of the 7 talas. A tala signifies the material pole or aspect of a lokatala, of which the loka represents the spirit pole or aspect. Atharva Veda, one of the 4 ancient Vedas or sacred scriptures of India. It is specifically the Veda of incantations and formulas for purifications. Atmajñanin, a divine self-knower, literally, hence one who knows Atman. Atma Vidya, divine knowledge. Atman, the self, the divine aspect in the 7-fold constitution of man, his highest principle. Atavada, this is a Pali compound word, used in Buddhism, signifying the false belief in the existence in man of a permanent soul, which makes him separate from the other manifestations of the one life. Atta is Pali for the Sanskrit Atman. Vada means expression. speech. Artayantika, literally excessive, endless. The term is used in connection with an individual who has attained nirvana prior to the conclusion of a planetary manvantara, or a 7-round cycle. Also used in connection with pralayas, periods of dissolution. Aum, the sacred 3-syllabled word of mantric significance. It is at once an invocation, a benediction, an affirmation, and a promise. Avalokiteshvara, a compound of ava, down, lokita, seen, Ishvara, Lord, hence the periodically manifesting divinity, applied to the summit of a hierarchy. Avastha, a state or condition, used in connection with man's 4 states of consciousness. The 4 avasthas are thus enumerated. Jagrat, the consciousness during the waking state. Svapna, the dreaming state. Sushupti, the state during deep sleep. Samadhi, the beatific state of divine consciousness. Avatara, a divine incarnation. Avicii, literally the waveless state, a state of continuous agony. Avidya, literally non-knowledge, although usually rendered ignorance, the first of the 12 nidanas of Buddhism, that is to say the bonds or fetters forming causes for existence. With this conclusion of the terms commencing with the letter A, let us repeat the 3 mantras. Aham asmi parabrahma. Aham brahmasmi. Aham eva parabrahma. In taking up terms commencing with the letter B, the first one is Barhishad, which is the specific name of the lunar Pitris, or the lords of the moon, those who graduated from the human kingdom on the lunar chain. Baudha, meaning wise, is the adjective formed from the noun bodha, knowledge. Next in the series of words are aspirated Bs. These words seem to cause great difficulty to English-speaking persons. Yet we have the English words abhenry, abhor, abhorrent, abhorrence, and even rabhard. The Sanskrit words should be pronounced in the same way. The first example is Bhagavat, meaning illustrious, divine. The final T becomes D when placed before the hard G as in Gita. Thus, Bhagavad Gita means the divine song. Bhakti, devotion. Hence, Bhakti Yoga means the practice of devotional yoga. Bhava, becoming. The word is formed from the verb bhu, to become. It signifies another of the 12 nidanas of Buddhism. Bhikshu, a mendicant. In Buddhism, one who has renounced the world. The feminine form of the word is Bhikshuni. Bhima is the name of Arjuna's brother, the mighty one. Bhumi is the name of the earth, globe D of the earth chain. The adjective which is formed from the noun is bhaumika and is often used in connection with the manvantara, or 7-round period of the earth. Bhaumika pralaya signifies the dissolution of the earth. Bhurloka is the name of one of the 7 lokas. It is the plane or sphere in which globe D is located. Bhuvarloka is the loka which is immediately superior to that of Bhurloka. hence is often associated with the plane on which globe C is situated. Bhuta is the correct form of the word usually rendered brute, plural bhuts, signifying the eidolons or shades of deceased persons which inhabit the Kamaloka or the desire world. So much for the examples of aspirated bees. Bija is a mystical term signifying seed or life germ. Bodhi is derived from the verbal root brut, to awaken, to enlighten, hence illumination, spiritual wisdom. The word is frequently used in connection with the tree under which Gautama the Buddha attained illumination, the Bodhi tree, also shortened to the Bo tree. Bodhidharma, literally wisdom religion, also the name of a Buddhist patriarch. Bodhisattva, literally one whose essence is wisdom. In southern Buddhism, an aspirant for Buddhahood. In northern Buddhism, one who renounces nirvana in order to help humanity. Brahman needs special clarification in that it should be distinguished from Brahma. Notice the aspirate preceding the M, not Brahm, but Brahman. In philosophy, Brahman signifies the summit of a hierarchy as well as the divinity pervading the universe. And this is the concept presented in the mantra, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. In exoteric scriptures, the creative aspect of deity is represented as a male god, a creator, termed Brahma, also present in the three aspects of the deity, personified in the three forms or Trimurti, Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, Shiva, the destroyer. Brahma also signifies the hierarch of a solar system, and the period of a solar system's existence is established as being equivalent to the life of Brahma, a period of 100 divine years. Brahma's day signifies the period of the existence of a planetary system, or a 7-round cycle. Brahma's night, a period of equivalent length, signifies the planetary dissolution. A Brahmana signifies a follower of Brahman, or a member of the priestly caste. The same word Brahmana also means the doctrine concerning divine knowledge, thus signifying the works written in connection with the Vedas. Here follow some compounds formed by using Brahma in the first portion of the term. Brahmanda, an egg of Brahma, used as an expression applicable to the solar system. Brahmapura, Brahma's abode, Pura, used symbolically as situated within the heart of man. Brahmashrama, a temple of Brahma, hence a holy temple. Brahma Vidya, divine knowledge. This is therefore an equivalent of the word theosophy. Brahma Yoga, divine yoga, that yoga which includes the best and loftiest practices of all the schools of yoga. Brihaspati is the name of the planet Jupiter. There is yet the very familiar term Buddha. Nevertheless, care must be taken to distinguish between Buddha, which is spelled with only one D, and the word with two Ds. The one D word signifies a wise man, a sage, as well as it is the name of the planet Mercury. Buddha, with two Ds, the awakened or the illuminated one, thus designating the status of Gautama. Then there is the term buddhi, the sixth principle of man's sevenfold constitution, signifying the discrimination principle, the intuition. It is also derived from the same root as the preceding words, from bud, to awaken, to perceive. The words commencing with B may be concluded with a mantra. Brahmai Vedam Sarvam. Verily, this is Brahma. Brahmai Vedam is compounded of Brahma, Eva, and Idam. Eva means verily, in truth. In exposition, Idam means this, the word used for the manifested world, or for that matter, the manifested universe. Therefore, the mantra declares that the manifested universe is pervaded by the universal divinity, or universal spirit, Brahman. In presenting the words commencing with C, it should be stated that the hard C sound is equivalent to the Sanskrit ka. The sibilant C is the same as the Sanskrit sa. However, the soft C sound, as in church, is the same. Thus, Chandra is one of the names of the moon. Chatur is the number 4. Chela is a disciple. Chit is usually rendered intelligence, also consciousness and pure thought. From Chit is derived the word Chaitanya, which also signifies consciousness, although this term is usually applied to cosmic consciousness or cosmic intelligence. Chakra is a word meaning a wheel, a disc. In theosophy, a chakra signifies a force center, there being 7 situated in different parts of the body. However, the chakras pertain primarily to the Shukshmopadi rather than to the Stulopadi, that is to say, to the subtle body rather than the physical vehicle. Chakshu means an eye, a term applied to the sun. There is an aspirated cha sound, which is also present in English. For instance, witch hazel, watchhound, Churchill. In Sanskrit, chhaya means a shadow. It is a term applied to the first root race, which is designated the chhaya race. Then there is the word chhala, which means a sham. 2 Tibetan words should be included. Chohan, meaning a lord or master. Chainrazi is the Tibetan word equivalent to Avalokiteshvara. In taking up the words commencing with D, it should be mentioned that there are 2 D sounds present in Sanskrit. The difference is so slight that it is usually ignored. Nevertheless, the difference may be explained in this manner. There is a cerebral D and a dental D. In technical transliteration, the cerebral D is indicated by means of a dot placed below the letter. For that matter, a difference is to be noted even in English pronunciation. For instance, the cerebral D is heard in the words do, dear, din. The dental is heard in due, duty, need. In the dentals, the tip of the tongue is placed against the teeth, thus producing the correct pronunciation. In Sanskrit, the cerebral is indicated by the word dambara, meaning a great noise. The dental is indicated in the word deva, literally a shining one. The word is derived from the verb root div, to shine. However, the word is usually rendered a god. A goddess is Devi. The adjective form from the word is Daiva, divine. In compounds, there is Daivi Prakriti, literally shining primordial matter. In esoteric philosophy, it represents the ever-present electrical energy in the universe of manifestation. It is the ceaseless formative as well as destructive power. Dana is rendered as the key of charity and love immortal. It is the first of the 7 paramitas, the virtues or perfections. Devachan, not Devakan, please, is a Tibetan word, literally meaning the happy place. It signifies the blessed after-death state, in which no sorrow enters to mar the peaceful rest of the departed. Devanagari, literally divine city writing, signifies the characters in which Sanskrit is written. The next series of words contains the aspirated Ds. The sound is also present in English. For instance, adhere, adherence, roundhead, red house. In Sanskrit, Dhanus is the name of the sign of the zodiac known as the archer, Sagittarius. Dharana is 6th in the enumeration of the 8 yoga states. It means the perfect concentration of the mind. Dharma, usually rendered duty, signifies that which is decreed, hence the law. In Buddhism, it represents the ethical doctrine, prescribed in its precepts as justice, harmony, equity, and virtue. In compounds, Dharma Shastra signifies a law book, although the term is applied to sacred scriptures as well. Notably the Manava Dharma Shastra, meaning the laws of Manu. Dharmakaya, literally translated, means the body of the law. It designates the vesture in which a perfected human enters the state of nirvana. Dhruva is the name of the pole star. Jnana is derived from the verbal root jai, to meditate, hence meditation. It is the 6th of the 7 paramitas and is enumerated as the 7th in the stages of yoga, that of spiritual meditation. This is the meaning in all the compounds which follow, commencing with Dhyani Bodhisattva, literally the meditative one, whose essence is wisdom, a member of the celestial hierarchy, defined as one of the 7 regents or watchers of the globes of the earth chain. Dhyani Bhuta is defined as a regent or watcher of a round. Dhyani Chohan, literally meditative lord, a generalizing term applicable to any celestial being who has graduated from the human kingdom. Diksha means initiation. Dikshaka, one who initiates. Dikshita, one who is initiated. Dvija, literally twice born, hence one who is initiated. In India today it is applied to one who is invested with the sacred thread of the Brahmanical religion. Dvaita, literally duality. The term is applied to the Vedantic school of philosophy, which postulates duality in stating that Atman and Brahman, the universal divinity, are ever separated principles, whereas the Advaita, non-dualist school, postulates that Atman and Brahman are one. A third Vedantic school, named the Vishishtadvaita, meaning qualified non-duality, postulates that Atman is a part of Brahman. In further exposition, it may be restated in this manner. The Dvaita school declares divinity, Brahman, is somewhere outside of me. I shall attempt to reach it. The Vishitadvaitavadin declares divinity manifests everywhere, and I am a part of divinity. The Advaitavadin declares all is divinity. I am divinity. In Sanskrit, Aham Brahmasmi. The next term is Dvapara Yuga, signifying the cyclic period of time which is twice as long as the Kali Yuga, which latter is our present cyclic period of time, applicable to the fifth root race. The preceding Yuga, known as the Dvapara Yuga, is the second of the four Yugas or cyclic time periods. Dhyan is a Tibetan word. It is the equivalent of the Sanskrit dhyana, meditation, and by extension of meaning wisdom, divine knowledge. The book of Dhyan, which forms the basis for H.P. Blavatsky's work The Secret Doctrine, therefore, means the book of wisdom, divine knowledge. It belongs to the series known as the QT. Dondampai Denpa is a Tibetan compound meaning absolute truth. Dondam, the real state of the case. Denpa, truth. It is equivalent to the Sanskrit Paramartha Satya. The Sanskrit vowel E is pronounced as the English words day, fey. Here are some examples. Eka is the number one. In compounds, Eka Chakshu means one eye, a term applied to the sun. Eka Chitta, literally one thought, means fixedness of thought. Ekane Kasvarupa, simple yet manifold. Eva means verily, so, just so. There is no sound equivalent to the English F in Sanskrit. The word Fohat is given by H.P. Blavatsky as having a Turanian origin. It is the universal propelling vital force, or cosmic prana, equivalent to Daivi Prakriti. In Sanskrit, G is always hard as in go. The guttural NG sound is present as in the English gone. Gandha is the sense of smell. Ganga is the name of the river Ganges. Gautama is the name of the Buddha. Please note that au is a diphthong as in house and should not be pronounced as the English word gaudy. Gayatri, a sacred hymn from the Rig Veda addressed to the sun. It is recited mornings and evenings by every Brahmana. Gotrabhujnana, literally knowledge, jnana, of the birth of families or races. Guhya Vidya, knowledge of mantras or mystical incantations. Guna, a quality or characteristic. As used in Sankhya philosophy, all nature, Prakriti, is pervaded by three qualities, termed the Trigunas. Sattva, the quality of goodness. Rajas, the quality of activity. Tamas, the quality of passivity. Gupta Vidya, esoteric knowledge or the esoteric philosophy, equivalent in meaning to the secret doctrine. Guru, a teacher, especially a spiritual teacher, for the word is derived from the verbal root gur, to raise, to lift up. Guru Deva therefore signifies a divine teacher. Guru Parampara, a serial line of teachers. Parampara literally means one following the other. In Sanskrit there is also an aspirated hard G sound. The sound is also present in English, as for instance in the words leghorn, dig hard. Gharma means warmth of the sun, sunshine. Ghana, compact, solid. Ghosha, tumult, confused cries. H is always aspirated, just as in the English initial letter as in he. Hansa, although commonly signifying a goose or swan, has also a mystical idea connected with the word. In explanation, Hansa signifies the soul or spirit, which migrates to and from the body, just as the wild goose migrates every year in India. Hansa even has the meaning of universal spirit, especially when associated with Kala, eternity. The idea conveyed by the compound term is this: Kala Hansa, the swan of eternity, is always in existence, whether during a period of manifestation or during a period of resting. When it is time for a cosmos, a world system, to come into manifestation, the swan drops an egg, Brahmanda, from which a cosmos, be it sun or planet, comes into manifestation. The same idea is present in the Finnish poem, the Kalevala. There the mystic bird is called a duck. When a cosmos has come into manifestation, the creative deity Brahma is referred to as Hansavahana, the vehicle of the eternal swan, the vehicle of the universal spirit. The next term is Hanuman, the name of the monkey god, who is one of the heroes of the Ramayana, the great epic dealing with the feats of Rama, as well as of Hanuman. In the Bhagavad Gita, one of the names of Krishna is Hari, which is rendered he who removes sin. Hastinapura is the name of the city founded by King Hastin. A great part of the main action of the Mahabharata centers in and around this city. Hatha Yoga is the next term. Please note the aspirated T as in ant hill, not as in nothing. Since Hatha means forced, the term signifies forced yoga, the type of yoga that forces the mind to withdraw from external objects. Certain adherents actually inculcate self-torture as well as harmful practices. Himalaya is the name of the lofty range of mountains in Central Asia. Hiranya means golden. Hiranyagarbha, literally the golden egg or womb. In the esoteric philosophy, this term is used as an equivalent to the auric egg. Hum is an equivalent to Aum, usually occurring at the close of a mantra, thus: Om Mani Padme Hum. Om, the jewel in the lotus, Hum. Within the heart of every being is Atman. Om Vajra Pani Hum. Om, the wielder of the thunderbolt, Hum. An invocation to obtain self-mastery, for only then is one capable of holding a thunderbolt in the hand. The letter I in Sanskrit has a short sound and a long sound. The short sound is pronounced as in the English pit, bit. the long sound as in beat, beat. Ichha Shakti, the power of the will. Idam means this. The philosophical connotation implied in the use of idam for a manifested world has already been explained. See under Brahmai Vedam. Idhi is the Pali word, equivalent to Siddhi, meaning phenomenal powers, usually called psychic powers. Ishvara means Lord or Master. The word is often used in reference to the Lord within man, or the Divine Spirit. Iti Maya Shrutam is a phrase which a disciple who has been taught by a Guru Deva customarily uses when passing his teaching on to others. It means, thus have I heard. The letter J has the same sound in both English and Sanskrit. For example, jaguar, John. In Sanskrit, Jagrat means the state of consciousness experienced during man's waking state. Janaloka is the fifth, counting upwards, in the enumeration of the 7 lokatalas. Jara Marana, literally old age and death, is one of the 12 nidanas of Buddhism, or causes of existence, bringing about rebirth on earth. Jati, birth, another of the nidanas. Jiva, the principle of life, which when individualized as in a human being is termed prana. Jivan mukta, literally while living freed. That is to say, a freed monad. It signifies one who is liberated before death from the need for future births. Jivanu, literally a life atom. Jivatman signifies an individual monad, in contradistinction to Paramatman, the universal self. Students find difficulty in pronouncing the ñ sound, which immediately follows after a j. It should be pronounced as the n in anyan. For example, jnana, knowledge. Jnana darshana shuddhi, perfection. Shuddhi in perceiving, darshana, wisdom. Jnana shakti, the power of real wisdom or knowledge. Jnana yoga signifies the yoga which is based on the acquirement of true knowledge. Jnaneshvari, a mystical treatise in which Krishna describes the attainments of an illumined yogin. Ka is the first consonant in the Sanskrit alphabet and is pronounced as in English. For example, Kali Yuga is the name of the present cyclic period pertaining to the 5th root race. Kalpa is also a time period. Sometimes it is used as equivalent in length to a day of Brahma, which is the time period of a planet. A Mahakalpas generally signifies the solar cyclic time period. Kama means desire. It is also the name of the motivating principle in the sevenfold human constitution. Kama Loka is literally the desire world, which is a semi-material plane commonly called the astral world. There the shades of the departed remain for a certain length of time. Kama Rupa, literally the desire form, equivalent to the shade or eidolon. It is the subjective form created by means of the thoughts and desires of a person during life, which is projected as a form into the astral world after the death of the physical body. Kanya, a girl, a virgin, also the name of the zodiacal sign of Virgo. Kapilavastu, the name of the birthplace of Gautama the Buddha. Karana, a word derived from the verb root krit, to do, to act, hence action, cause, used metaphysically as the primal cause. In connection with the word upadhi, compounded as karanopadi, it signifies the causal vehicle in which reside the causal aspects of man's existence on earth, equivalent to the buddhi manasic aspect of man's constitution. Karkataka, a crab, also the name of the zodiacal sign Cancer. Karma, literally action. Observe the difference in the pronunciation of karma, the law of cause and effect, and kama, desire. Karma yoga, literally the yoga of action, the performance of right action. Kechara, literally mover in the sky. Ke, in the sky. Cha, to go, to move oneself. It has reference to one of the siddhis, described as the magical power of flying, that is, projecting one's consciousness wherever desired. Klesha, literally pain. In yoga philosophy, the love of worldly enjoyment. 5 kleshas are enumerated. Avidya, non-knowledge. Asmita, egotism. Raga, desire. Dvesha, aversion. Abhinivesha, tenacity of worldly existence. Krishna, the name of one of the great teachers of India, classed as an avatara. His death in 3102 BC marked the commencement of the Kali Yuga cycle. Krita is often rendered perfect, well done. Krita Yuga, the name of the first of the 4 cyclic time periods or yugas. Kriya Shakti, literally the power of action. The term signifies the mysterious power of thought activated in such manner that it enables one to produce external, perceptible, phenomenal results by means of its own inherent energy. Krura Lochana, literally of an inauspicious aspect, a name of the planet Saturn. The next series of words illustrates the sound of ksha, which should be pronounced as in the English words buckshot, Berkshire. Kshanti, patience, third in the enumeration of the 7 paramitas, defined as patience sweet which naught can ruffle. Kshatriya, the second of the 4 castes of India, the administrative as well as the warrior caste. Kshetra, land, soil, hence also a field. Kshetrajna, literally the knower of the field, that is the body. A philosophical term applied to the conscious ego. The idea is more clearly expressed when Ishvara is added to the compound, thus, Kshetrajneshvara, the lordly knower in the field of man's constitution. Kumaras, literally youths, designated the holy youths. In the secret doctrine they are defined as one of the classes of the solar Pitris who provided direct assistance to humanity. Kumbha, the name of the 11th sign of the zodiac, equivalent to Aquarius, the waterman. Kumudapati, the name given to the Lord of the Moon, for Kumuda signifies the white water lily, said to open at moonrise. Pati, Lord, master. The moon is thus referred to as the parent of the earth. Kundalini, literally the circular power, so called because of its spiral-like working in the body, defined as an electric, fiery, occult, or poetic power. Kunti, the name of the wife of Pandu and mother of Arjuna, the hero of the Bhagavad Gita. Kuntag, a Tibetan term signifying a personal erroneous supposition, derived from kun, the whole, all, tag, an inquiry. Kunzabji Denpa, a Tibetan compound. Kun, zob, delusive. Denpa, truth, hence illusion creating appearance, equivalent to Maya. Kusha, the sacred grass used in India at certain religious ceremonies. Quan Shai Yin, a Chinese term identical with and equivalent to the Sanskrit Avalokiteshvara. Kuan Yin, the Chinese goddess of mercy, called the divine voice. Kuan Yin Tian, literally the melodious heaven of sound, the abode of Kuan Yin. L is pronounced as in English. Lakshmi means prosperity, success, also the name of the goddess of fortune and beauty. Lamrin is a Tibetan term, signifying a sacred volume of precepts and rules written by Tsongkhapa for the advancement of knowledge. Lanka, the ancient name of the island now called Ceylon. Laya, dissolution. The word is derived from the verb root li, to dissolve. In the secret doctrine, Laya point, or Laya center, signifies that state where substance, prakriti, becomes homogeneous and is unable to act or differentiate. The next four terms are Tibetan and illustrate the use of an aspirate H, as in the English compounds all hail, well healed. Ha, usually translated a god. In the secret doctrine it is equivalent to the term Dhyan Chohan. Hagpa, the name of the planet Mercury. Ha-kan, a temple, also a crypt, especially a subterranean temple for mystic ceremonies. Ramayin, elemental sprites of the lower terrestrial plane. Popular fancy makes of them demons and devils. Linga, a Sanskrit word with a number of meanings, as used in theosophy and especially in the compound Linga Sharira. It signifies the model body or pattern body, acting as the causal form from which radiates the energies which enable the physical body to be builded atom for atom. Lipikas, divine beings, regarded as recorders, who impress on the astral light the faithful record of every act and thought, hence the registers of karma. Lohitanga, literally the red-limbed, a term usually applied to the planet of Mars. In a commentary from the book of John, it is applied to Venus. Loka, a region, place, also applied to the world or even the universe. In metaphysics, a world, sphere, or plane. In connection with the seven lokatalas, states of consciousness are indicated rather than actual localities. M is termed a labial and is pronounced as in English. The first term is a Greek compound word, macrocosm, literally a great system, hence the universe in contradistinction to microcosm, a little system or world applied to man. Madhyamika, a Buddhist school of philosophy. The word means literally the middle way. The next series of terms are all compounds commencing with Maha, a word signifying great. For example, Mahabharata. Maha, the great, Bharata, descendants of Bharata, implying thereby the great war fought by the descendants of Bharata, namely the Kurus and the Pandavas. The Bhagavad Gita is an episode in the great epic. Mahabhutas, the 7 great element principles. Mahabhuti, literally great wisdom or great universal mind, a northern Buddhistic term equivalent to Mahat, as defined in Hindu philosophy. Mahakalpa, literally a great time period usually applied to a solar manvantara, which in turn is termed a Mahamanvantara. Mahamaya, the great illusion. Maharshi, literally the great sage, an abbreviated form of Maharishi. Mahatman, literally great self or great soul, a term applied to those great ones who devote themselves to the task of enlightening the human race. The chief of the spiritual hierarchy to which the Mahatmans belong is termed the Mahachohan. Mahayana, literally the great vehicle, the name of the northern Buddhistic school of philosophy. Mahayuga, a great age, the term applied to the sum of the 4 cyclic periods or yugas, 4,320,000 years. Mahat, literally the great, a term of Hindu philosophy, equivalent to the divine intelligence or cosmic mind. In the secret doctrine, the aggregate of the divine and spiritual intelligences of our cosmos. Makara, literally a crocodile, the name of the 10th sign of the zodiac, Capricornus, the sea goat. Manas, the mind principle, which becomes dual when manifesting in the human constitution. Hence it is divided into higher manas and lower manas. Manasik, the adjectival form of manas, hence the mental principle. Manasaputras, literally the sons of mind, also termed the solar Pitris, the great benefactors of the human race, acting in the capacity of awakening the dormant mind principle during the 3rd root race of humanity. Manava Dharma Shastra, the scripture of ancient India, termed the laws of Manu. In addition to presenting the moral code, it presents metaphysical doctrines. Manomaya Kosha, literally the sheath builded of the mind, representing manas and karma in the 7-fold human constitution. Mantra, a poetic hymn, prayer and incantation. Manus, the great regents or watchers of a planetary system. Manushya Buddha, literally human Buddha, a term applied to the watcher or guardian of a root race. Manvantara, a cyclic time period. When applied to a planet, it represents the period of activity throughout the life cycle of a planet, in contradistinction to a pralaya, which represents a planetary period of rest. Mara, literally the destroyer, the evil one, applied symbolically to the temptations which man has brought into being during his life, resulting from his thoughts and actions. Marga, literally the path. In Buddhism, the path to liberation. Maruts, in exoteric literature, the storm gods. Esoterically, those who assist in enlightening humanity. Maya, literally that which may be measured. In philosophy, that which is subject to change through decay and differentiation, hence termed the illusory world, illusion. Maya Vivrupa, literally the illusory form, esoterically the vehicle of projection. Meru, the name of the sacred mountain regarded as the abode of the gods. Mesha, the name of the first sign of the zodiac, Aries, the ram. Meena, the name of the 12th sign of the zodiac, Pisces, the fishes. Mithuna, the name of the 3rd sign of the zodiac, Gemini, the twins. Moksha and Mukti, 2 words meaning freedom, liberation, equivalent in meaning to Nirvana, freedom from the cycle of births. Mudra, a mystic sign or symbol, also a talisman, likewise applied to certain postures taken during meditation. Mula Prakriti, literally root matter, hence originate substance, prior to differentiation and manifestation. Myarba is a Tibetan term meaning a hell. Initial N is pronounced the same as in English. Nada literally means sound. Naga, literally a serpent, but as the serpent was used as a symbol of immortality, as in the seal of the Theosophical Society, and wisdom, an initiate of ancient India was given the title of Naga. Thus the name of a great Buddhist arhat was Nagarjuna. Naimitika Pralaya, literally an occasional dissolution, implying an occurrence at infrequent intervals, hence applicable to a planet. Please observe that Nai is pronounced as in the word naive, not as in nay. Naljo, a Tibetan word for a holy man, an adept. Nama Rupa, literally the name and form, one of the 12 nidanas, signifying the personality. Nastika, a non-believer in the sense of not believing in the orthodox deities of the pantheon. Nidanas, the 12 bonds or fetters of Buddhism, which bind a person to the wheel of life. These bonds, then, are the causes for existence. Nirmana Kaya, literally the body which is builded, hence the vehicle that is maintained by one who has renounced Nirvana, therefore a Buddha of compassion. Nirvana, the state of absolute consciousness, as well as absolute existence, entered into by the ego of one who has attained the highest degree of perfection and holiness, usually when the death of the body occurs. The state is attainable during the life of a Buddha or an individual of comparable status. Nirvanin, one who has attained nirvana, equivalent to a Jivan Mukta, a freed monad. Nitya Manvantara and Nitya Pralaya, since Nitya signifies constant, continuous, These terms apply to the continual processes of regeneration and decay occurring in the life of the cells of a body, whether of a man, or a planet, or a solar system. Nitya Sarga, the state of constant creation or evolution. Nivariti, literally flowing back, or an infolding. Hence involution in contradistinction to pravriti, evolution. Niyama, restraint of the mind, achieved by controlling one's thoughts. Noumenon, a Greek philosophical term signifying the true essential nature of being, as distinguished from the elusive objects of sense, the latter applying to the phenomenal world. Nous, a Platonic term for the higher mind, distinct from psyche, the lower mind. Nyaya, one of the 6 darshanas or schools of philosophy, the system of Hindu logic founded by the Rishi Gautama. Nyima, a Tibetan term for the sun. Nyingpo, a Tibetan term equivalent to Alaya, the world soul, also termed Tsan. O is pronounced as in the word O. Om is an alternative form of the Sanskrit mystic syllable Aum. See Hum. Familiarized by the Tibetan mantra Om Mani Padme Hum, the jewel in the lotus. Omitofo is the Chinese form of Amita Buddha, also Amitabha, in Sanskrit Amrita Buddha, the immortal enlightened one, applied to Gautama Buddha. P is pronounced as in English, Padma, the lotus. Pali is the language in which the principal scriptures of Buddhism have been preserved. Pancha koshas, literally the 5 sheaths into which man is divided in the Vedantic philosophy, the sheaths encompassing Atman, man's divine principle. Pancha Shila, the Sanskrit equivalent of the Pali word Pansil, signifying the 5 precepts of Buddhism, namely compassion, honesty, purity, sincerity, and temperaments, which every lay disciple of Buddhism promises to endeavor to follow. Panchasya, literally 5-faced or 5-headed. Panchen Rinpoche, literally jewel of wisdom, the Tibetan title of the Tashi Lama. Pandavas, the sons of Pandu, who opposed the Kurus in the great war of the Mahabharata. Para, beyond, far, distant. Parabrahman, literally beyond Brahman, hence the boundless all, absoluteness, the omnipresent, eternal, boundless, and immutable principle. Parama, the most distant, hence the supreme. Paramatha, artha, aim, purpose, hence the supreme reality. Paramatha Satya, absolute truth. Paramatman, the supreme soul or spirit of the universe, regarded as the source of Atman. Paramita, a virtue or perfection. Paranirvana, the highest nirvana, attainable at the conclusion of the Mahakalpa or solar cycle. Paranishpana, a state equivalent to Paranirvana. Parashakti, the great force, one of the 6 forces of nature, that of light and heat. paratantra, rules or rights. Hence in philosophy, that which exists only through a dependent or causal connection. Parikalpita, that which is invented or created. Hence in philosophy, that which is erroneous. Parna, used symbolically in the stanzas of Jan in connection with man, who is regarded as a Saptaparna, the seven-leaved man-plant. Patala, commonly rendered a hell, because it is the lowest of the seven talas. Phala, a fruit. In philosophy, the fruit or result of causes. Phren, a Pythagorean term, equivalent to kama manas, that is lower manas. Pishachas, in southern Indian folklore regarded as ghosts or demons, also in the Puranas, the fading remnants of the astral shades or denizens of Kamaloka. Pitris, literally fathers, signifying beings superior to the human kingdom, divisible into two main classes, termed lunar Pitris and solar Pitris. The lunar Pitris supplied the forms for the humans of the first root race. The solar Pitris assisted the human race by awakening the dormant mind principle during the third root race. Pitripati, literally the Lord of the Fathers, signifying the Lord of the Moon. Prabhavapyaya, that whence all originates and into which all things resolve at the end of the life cycle. Pradhana, that which is placed before, hence the first, the principle. In philosophy, the original source of the visible or material universe, equivalent to Akasha. Prajapati, literally the Lord of Progeny, a name applied to Brahma as the Lord of creation. Prajna, wisdom, regarded as the seventh paramita. Prakriti, in philosophy the originating substance, regarded as the source and origin of the substance side of the manifested universe. Prakritika pralaya, literally dissolution of matter, applied to a total dissolution of the solar system. Pralaya, literally dissolution, signifying a period of rest. Prana, in theosophical literature, the life principle in man. Pranamaya kosha, in Vedantic philosophy, one of the five sheaths, literally the sheath of life. Pranayama, literally restraint of the breath, one of the practices of Hatha Yoga. Pratyagatman, generally rendered individual soul. Pratyahara, generally rendered withdrawal in connection with yoga practices. The fifth stage of yoga, withdrawing the consciousness inwards towards spiritual things. Pratyeka Buddha, since pratyeka signifies for oneself alone, the term is applied to a Buddha who attains nirvana, for oneself alone, in contradistinction to a Buddha of compassion who renounces nirvana. Pratyekayana, literally the path for oneself alone, applied to a pratyeka Buddha. Pravritti, literally a flowing forth, hence an unfolding of what is within, or evolution. Prithivi, the earth. Prithivi Tattva, the cosmic element principle of earth. Puranas, literally the ancients, a term applied to a collection of symbolical and allegorical writings, mythological in character. There are 18 such scriptures. Purusha, commonly rendered man, likewise the animating principle in man. In Sankhya philosophy rendered spirit, in contradistinction to prakriti, matter. R is pronounced as in English. Rajas is one of the three gunas, or characteristic qualities, namely the quality of activity. Raja Yoga, literally kingly union, the true system of developing one's spiritual powers and the attainment of union with one's higher self. Rakshasa, popularly regarded as a devil. In the Ramayana, the Rakshasas are regarded as the giant inhabitants of the former continent of Lanka. Esoterically, they represent the Atlanteans. Rama, the hero of the Ramayana, regarded as an avatar of Vishnu. Ramayana, one of the great epics of India, consisting of some 48,000 lines of poetry, narrating the feats and adventures of Rama. Rasa, the sense of taste. Rasa, the mystery dance performed by Krishna and his gopis, the shepherdesses. Rashi Chakra, the zodiac, literally the zodiacal circle. Rashi, one division of the zodiac, that is 1/12. Ratna, a jewel. Ratnava Bhasa Kalpa, the age in which all sexual difference will have ceased to exist and birth will take place in the Anupapadaka mode, as in the second and third root races. Esoteric philosophy teaches that it will take place at the end of the sixth and during the seventh and last root race in this round. Ratri, night. Ravana, the sovereign of the Rakshasas of Lanka, who carried off Sita, thus bringing about the great war described in the Ramayana. Rig Veda, literally the hymn Veda or Veda of praise, the most ancient sacred book of the Hindus, consisting of 1,017 hymns. Writes H.P. Blavatsky, it is recorded in occultism as having been delivered by great sages on Lake Manasarovara, beyond the Himalayas, dozens of thousands of years ago. Quoted from the Theosophical Glossary, page 277. Rishabha, the name of the zodiacal sign Taurus, the bull. Rishi, a seer or sage. The Vedic hymns of the four Vedas are attributed to the rishis of ancient India. Rupa, a form. In the enumeration of the senses, Rupa is termed sight. Ruta, the name of one of the last islands of Atlantis, which perished ages before Poseidonus, which latter represents the Atlantis of Plato. In Sanskrit there are three sibilants, but no Z sound. The hard sibilant is pronounced as in English the word sun. The S with a diacritical mark is best described in this manner. Place the tongue against the teeth as though to pronounce the English word chair. Now move the tongue away from the teeth and pronounce the word share, and you will pronounce sharira correctly. The sha sound is pronounced as in she or ship. Shabda, sound. In the Mahabharata, Shabda is regarded as being sevenfold. Sakaya Diti, a Pali term signifying the false belief, Diti, that of the Sakaya, the group of components which form the body, is permanent and unchanging. Hence the delusion concerning the unchanging personality. Sakridagamin, literally once coming, applied to one who will receive birth only once more before nirvana is reached. Shakti, power, the active female energy of a deity, usually regarded as his consort or wife, especially in popular Hinduism. In the secret doctrine, force and the 6 forces of nature synthesized, also applied to universal energy. Shakya, the family name of Gautama Buddha, who was a descendant of the Shakyas. Hence he was termed Shakya Muni, meaning the sage of the Shakyas. Sama, a particular kind of sacred verse intended to be chanted. Sama Veda, literally the Veda of chants, one of the 4 Vedas. Samadhi, literally directing together, uniting, hence perfect union of all the faculties, the 8th stage of yoga, the attainment of which enables the practitioner to enter a state of ecstasy and trance bordering on the attainment of nirvanic consciousness. Samana, the name of one of the 5 pranas, termed vital breaths, which sustain the physical body. Samana controls digestion and assimilation, and therefore carries on the chemical processes within the body. Samapati, literally coming together. In Raja Yoga, a term for absolute concentration. This state is the last stage of development before the possibility of entering into Samadhi is reached. Shambhala, in the Puranas, a village in which it is prophesied that the Kalki Avatara will appear towards the end of Kali Yuga. Occultism places the locality in the Himalayas. Sambhogakaya, literally the body that lasts continuously, the second of the 3 vestures of glory renounced by bodhisattvas in order to remain on earth as nirmanakayas. Samgha, an assembly. In Buddhism, the whole collective brotherhood of monks. Samsara, literally wandering through, hence passing through a succession of states, as in the circuit of worldly existence, often rendered transmigration, metempsychosis, in Tibetan, korba. Samskara, literally putting together, accumulations, hence the resultant of actions or karmic consequences. In Buddhism, the second of the 12 Nidanas, and the 4th of the Skandhas, with special reference to the mental habits and tendencies. In brief, mental deposits. Samvriti, literally covering, hiding. In philosophy, a false conception brought about by regarding Maya as reality. Therefore, Samvriti Satya signifies relative truth. Samyak, literally perfect, in connection with Sambuddha, the compound Samyak Sambuddha means the fully awakened one who is spiritually enlightened, a title given to Gautama the Buddha by his disciples. Sandhya, literally a juncture, union, especially the juncture of day and night, morning or evening twilight, hence applied to the close of a yuga or kalpa. Sandhya is usually rendered at dawn. Sandhyansha, the same as Sandhya. Hence, Sandhyansha is usually applied to the twilight of a yuga or kalpa. Shani, the name of the planet Saturn. Sanjna, consciousness. In Buddhism, one of the 5 skandhas rendered perception. Shankaracharya, the great religious reformer of India and teacher of the Vedanta philosophy, regarded as an avatara. Sankhya, a system of philosophy founded by the Rishi Kapila, one of the 6 darshanas or schools of philosophy, a system of analytical metaphysics set forth in the aphorisms of Kapila, is entitled the Sankhya Karika. Sannyasin, a practitioner of sannyasa, renunciation of worldly bonds, in order to devote oneself to intellectual and spiritual culture. Sanskrit, literally the polished, the perfected, the name of the ancient classical language of the Brahmanas, only used within the temples. The Vedas represent the earliest known scriptures written in Sanskrit. Sapta, the number 7. Saptarshis, the 7 rishis associated with the constellation of the Great Bear. Sat, the one ever-present reality in the infinite world, the divine essence which is, but which cannot be said to exist, for it is regarded as absoluteness itself. The term beingness has been coined as an equivalent for sat. Sattva, essence. When used in connection with the gunas or qualities, it signifies the quality of goodness. Satya, truth. In connection with yuga, it signifies the age of truth and goodness, or the golden age, the first of the 4 yugas. Satyam nasti parodharmah, rendered, there is no religion higher than truth, the motto of the Theosophical Society. Saurya, the adjectival form of Surya, the sun. Saurya Manvantara signifies a solar period of manifestation. Saurya Pralaya, a solar period of rest. Senza, the mystic name for the secret sacerdotal language or the mystery speech of the initiated adepts all over the world. Shadayatana, the 6 sense organs, enumerated as one of the 12 nidanas in Buddhism. Siddhartha, literally one who has accomplished his purpose, a name given to Gautama the Buddha. Siddhis, literally complete attainment, hence supernatural powers, 8 being enumerated. Shila, conduct. In Buddhism, there are 5 fundamental rules of moral conduct, the Pancha Shilas, also regarded as one of the 7 paramitas, the key of harmony in word and act. Simha, the name of the sign of the zodiac called Leo, the lion. Shistas, literally remainders, referred to in the secret doctrine as the divine mortals who remain behind when the life wave of humanity passes from globe to globe on the earth chain, thus providing the seeds of humanity for the returning monads. Shiva, the name of the 3rd aspect of the Trimurti, regarded exoterically as the destroyer, esoterically the regenerator. The eye of Shiva is the term given to the 3rd eye, the pineal gland, or the eye of Dhamma. Skandhas, literally groups of attributes. In Buddhism, the characteristics which form the personality. 5 skandhas are enumerated. Rupa, form. Vedana, sensation. Sanjna, perception. Samskara, mental impressions and tendencies. Vijnana, consciousness. Shloka, a verse. Smriti, literally that which has been remembered, traditional accounts which were imparted orally. They now represent the ceremonial writings of the Hindus as well as the legal code or Shastra. Soma, one of the names of the moon. Symbolically, Soma is the symbol of the secret wisdom. Also the name of a drink which was originally made from a rare mountain plant by initiated Brahmanas. Somaloka, the abode of the regent of the moon. Sparsha, touch or contact. In Buddhism, the sixth nidana. Tsongkhapa or Tsongkhapa, the name of the celebrated Tibetan of the 14th century who introduced reforms in the Buddhism of Tibet, resulting in the Gelugpa order, commonly known as the Order of the Yellow Hats. Shravaka, literally a listener, a name bestowed upon a disciple. Srimad Bhagavat, a title given to the Bhagavata Purana, signifying the radiance spread by the Lord Krishna. Srotapati, literally the state of one who has entered the stream, signifying the stream or path leading to nirvana. Srotapana means one who has entered the stream. Shrutis, literally that which has been heard, a term applied to the sacred scriptures, the Vedas and the Upanishads. Stula Sharira, the compound term applied to the physical body in the sevenfold classification of man's principles. Sthulopadhi, the lowest vesture in the fourfold classification of man's principles. Shudra, the name of the lowest of the four castes of India, signifying the servants and laborers. Shukra, the name of the planet Venus, also called Ushanas Shukra. Sukshmopadhi, literally the fine or subtle vesture, the third of the four upadhis into which the constitution of man is divided in Brahmanical philosophy. Sumero, literally beautiful Meru, the name of the sacred mountains regarded as the abode of the gods. Sungmingshu, the name of the Chinese tree of knowledge and tree of life. Shunyata, literally the voidness, one of the doctrines of the Mahayana school of Buddhism, directing attention to the illusory nature of worldly phenomena. Surya, one of the names of the sun. Surya Siddhanta, the name of an ancient astronomical treatise, literally meaning the perfected treatise of the solar gods. Sushumna, the name of one of the seven solar rays, also the name of a spinal nerve which connects the heart with the Brahmarandhra, a mystic spot on the crown of the head. Sushupti, the state of deep sleep, the third of the four avasthas or states of consciousness. Sutra, literally a thread on which jewels are strung. See Sutta. Sutratman, literally the thread of the self, the immortal principle in man, which incarnates on earth one life after the other, represented as the individuality, upon which are strung like beads on a thread, the countless personalities. Sutta, the Pali equivalent of the Sanskrit sutra, applied in Buddhism to that part of the canon which contains the dialogues of the Buddha. Svabhava, essential characteristic or identity. Svabhavat, literally self-becoming, a northern Buddhistic term equivalent to father-mother of the stanzas of Dzyan, indicating thereby the mystic essence, the plastic root of physical nature. From it all nature proceeds, and into it all returns at the end of the life cycle. Svabhavika, the name of the oldest existing school of Buddhism, which assigns the manifestation of the universe and physical phenomena to Svabhava, or the essential characteristic of things. Svapna, the state of dreaming, a state of consciousness differing from the waking state or Jagrat. Svara, the mystic sound or tone, especially applicable to the sound value of mantras. Svarga, the general word for heaven. The word literally means going to the abode of light. Svasamvedana, literally to know oneself thoroughly, hence self-realization, which is attained when one reaches Paramartha Satya, the highest truth. Svastika, that which is excellent, a term applied to the mystic cross, with its arms bent at right angles, signifying whirling motion. The 4 points of the cross represent in succession birth, life, death, and immortality. Svayambhu, literally self-existing being, a metaphysical term meaning the spontaneously self-produced, applied to Brahman. Shvetadvipa, literally the white continent, a name given to the first continent on this globe in the Puranas, also called therein the land of the gods. Initial T in Sanskrit is pronounced as in English. Taijasa Tattva signifies the element principle of fire. Tala, literally the lower part or base. In connection with the lokas, the talas represent the lower aspect. Thus the loka may represent the spirit side and the tala the matter side, whether of a region or plane. Tamas, the quality of inertia in connection with the trigunas or three qualities. Tanha, the Pali term signifying the thirst for life, clinging to life on earth, one of the 12 nidanas of Buddhism. Tanjore, a collection of Buddhist works translated from the Sanskrit into Tibetan and Mongolian. It consists of 225 large volumes. The Kanjur contains the commandments of the word of the Buddha and consists of 108 volumes. Tanmatras, the originant element of the element principles, from which the gross element principles or Mahabhutas arise. 5 of the element principles are earth, water, air, fire, and ether. Tantra, literally rite or ritual. The Tantras are religious scriptures dealing with magical rites and ceremonies. Tapas, religious observances, usually of an austere character. Taraka Raja Yoga, one of the philosophical schools of the Brahmanical yoga system. Since Taraka means liberation, It may be termed a system inculcating liberation by means of kingly union. Tat, a pronominal particle signifying that, used in the Vedas as an equivalent for the boundless, equivalent to the Vedantic term Parabrahman. Tathagata, literally thus going, as well as thus coming, a title given to the Buddhas in that they come in a serial line through the ages. Tattvas, the seven element principles, viewed from the force side or spirit aspect of the element principle. Tattvajñānin, one who knows the cosmic essences or principles from which all in this universe spring. Tejas Tattva, the cosmic element principle of fire. Tian Hoan, a Chinese term signifying 12 hierarchies of dhyanis. Tian Xin, literally the heaven of mind, a Chinese term applied to the absolute. Tirthika, literally one belonging to a holy place, Tirtha. However, the term has been used opprobriously, signifying an unbeliever. Titiksha, patience, endurance, applied in Raja Yoga practice to indifference to both pleasure and pain. Treta Yuga, literally the age of the triads, 3 times as long as the Kali Yuga. Trigunas, in Sankhya philosophy, the 3 qualities inherent in Prakriti, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, the qualities of goodness, activity, and inertia. Trikaya, literally 3 bodies, as enunciated in the doctrine of Mahayana Buddhism, enumerated as the Dharmakaya, Sambhogakaya, and Nirmanakaya vestures. Trimurti, literally the 3 manifestations or forms, composed of Brahma, the emanator or evolver, Vishnu, the sustainer or preserver, Shiva, the destroyer and renovator. These are a trinity in a unity. Writes H.P. Blavatsky, in the esoteric doctrine they are one and the same manifestation of him whose name is too sacred to be imagined. Quoted from Isis Unveiled, Volume 2, page 278. Trishna, literally thirst or desire, the Sanskrit equivalent of the Pali word tanha, desire for manifested life. Tula, the name of the sign of the zodiac called Libra, the scales. Turiya Avastha, literally the 4th state, applied to the 4 states of consciousness, also termed Turiya Samadhi, which may be defined as almost a nirvanic state, a beatific state of contemplative yoga, which is beyond this physical plane. Tsim Tsum, a Kabbalistic term signifying centrifugal and centripetal energy, defined as expansion and contraction. Tsongkhapa, see under Tsongkhapa. In Sanskrit, the initial U sound is always short and should not be pronounced as the English word you. Therefore, not Upanishad, but Upanishad. This term may be rendered esoteric doctrine, since the Upanishads represent interpretation of the Vedas by the Vedanta methods. In fact, it is from the 3rd division of the Vedas, added to the writings termed Brahmanas, that the Vedanta system of philosophy has been developed. Continuing now with the pronunciation of words commencing with the U sound. Udana, literally breathing upwards, the name of one of the 5 vital airs or vital breaths, that which is in the throat and rises upwards. Udumbara, the name of the Ficus glomerata, a quick-growing, evergreen shade tree. The Nila Udumbara is a blue lotus. Upadana, literally acquiring. In Buddhism, grasping for oneself, specifically clinging to earth life, one of the 12 nidanas. Upadana karana, a proximate cause. That is a cause which immediately precedes and produces the effect. Upadhi, literally a substitute, a disguise, hence a veil of spirit. For instance, Buddhi is the upadhi of Atman, usually rendered a vehicle or base. Upadhyaya, a teacher, a preceptor. Upasaka, a disciple, equivalent to a chela. In Buddhism, a lay disciple is termed upasaka. The feminine form of the word is upasika. Because H.P. Blavatsky was a chela of the Mahatmas, she was called by them upasika. Upashruti, the dictionary's rendition is that of a supernatural, oracular voice. H.P. Blavatsky writes, according to the explanation of occultism, the voice of any person at a distance, generally one versed in the mysteries of esoteric teachings or an adept, endowed with the gift of projecting both his voice and astral image to any person whatsoever, regardless of distance. Quoted from the Theosophical Glossary, page 354. Upeksha, indifference, contempt. In yoga, a state of absolute indifference, attained by self-control, the complete mastery over one's mental and physical feelings and sensations. Ushanas Shukra, the name of the regent of the planet Venus. Ushas, dawn, personified as the immortal, ever-youthful goddess. Ushnisha, a diadem, a crown. In Buddhism, the image of a Buddha is portrayed with a protuberance on top of the head. This represents the flame of enlightenment. The initial V is pronounced as in English, Vach, speech, also the mystic personification of speech. Esoterically, Vach is the subjective creative force which emanates from the creative deity and becomes the concrete expression of ideation, hence the word or logos. Vahana, a vehicle. The term is applied even to gods and goddesses, who are represented as using vahanas to manifest themselves. Vairajas, in esoteric philosophy, equivalent to Nirmanakayas. Vaishvanara, literally pertaining to all men, universal. In Vedanta philosophy applied to the Supreme Spirit. Vaishya, the third in the enumeration of the 4 castes of ancient India, represented by the agriculturists, the merchants and traders. Vaivasvata, the name of the Manu or watcher of the 4th round, also the name of the 7th Manu. Vajra, a diamond, also a thunderbolt, portrayed in Buddhist lands as being held in the hand, the holder being termed Vajradhara, literally thunderbolt holder. In northern Buddhism, the name of the Supreme Buddha, Vajrapanin, a thunderbolt wielder. The symbol represented the possession of siddhis, or superhuman powers. Hence the mantra, Om Vajrapani Hum. Vajrasattva, literally diamond essence. In northern Buddhism, the name of the sixth Dhyani Buddha. Vamana Avatara, the name of the fifth avatara of Vishnu. Varaha Avatara, the name of the third avatara of Vishnu. Varuna, the name of one of the Vedic deities, regarded as the god of water, symbolizing the waters of space. Vasudeva, the father of Krishna, of the Yadava branch of the Somavansha, or lunar race. Hence, Krishna was called Vasudeva. Vayu, the air. In connection with the tattvas, it represents the element principle of air. Vedas, the most ancient as well as the most sacred of the Sanskrit works. Vedana, in connection with the Buddhist skandhas, signifying sensations, also enumerated as one of the 12 nidanas. Vedanta, literally the end of all knowledge, one of the 6 darshanas, or philosophical systems. Shankaracharya, the founder of the Advaita philosophy, is regarded as the founder of the modern schools of the Vedanta. Vidya, knowledge. Brahma Vidya, sacred knowledge. That is, knowledge of the 2 Brahmas. Vihara, in Buddhism, a temple or monastery. Vijnana, consciousness, intelligence, one of the 12 nidanas of Buddhism. Vijnanamaya Kosha, in Vedantic philosophy, the sheath builded of intelligence, equivalent to higher manas. Vimanas, the air vehicles of the Atlanteans. Veena, the Hindu lute, consisting of 7 strings with 19 frets. Its invention is attributed to Narada. Viraga, literally without desire, hence indifference to pleasure and to pain. The 4th paramita. Viraj, the masculine potency in nature, in contradistinction to the feminine potency. Esoterically, the dual forces of attraction and repulsion. Virya, the dauntless energy that fights its way to the supernal truth, another of the 7 paramitas. Vishnu, the second person of the Hindu Trinity, the sustaining force in the universe, hence the preserver. Vishvakarman, literally creating everything, the name of a Vedic god, a personification of the creative force, described as the one all-seeing God who is beyond the comprehension of mortals. Vivasvat, literally the brilliant one, a name of the sun. Vrishchika, the name of the sign of the zodiac called Scorpio, the scorpion. Vyana, the vital air or vital breath, which governs the circulations in the body. It is diffused throughout the body. Initial Y is pronounced as in English. It has been familiarized by means of the term yoga, which comes from the verb root yuj, meaning to join, to unite. Hence, yoga signifies a union, the union of one's faculties, spiritual, mental, moral, and physical. The practice of meditation is inculcated as a means of leading to spiritual liberation. One who is proficient in the 8 stages prescribed in yoga may in fact induce ecstatic states which enable one to have a perception of truths in connection with the visible and invisible universe. Yoga is also the name of one of the 6 darshanas, or systems of philosophy, the founding of which is attributed to Patanjali. Yogacara, the name of a Buddhist school founded in the 6th century before Christ by Arya Sangha, one of the disciples of Gautama the Buddha. A second school was founded in the 4th century AD. Yogi or yogin, a practitioner of yoga. Yajna, sacrifice. Yajna vidya, the performance of religious rites in order to produce certain results. Yaksha, in popular Indian folklore, a class of demons. In esoteric science, they are simply evil elemental influences. Yama, in the Vedas, the god of the dead, with whom the shades of the departed dwell in Yamapura, the abode of the dead, equivalent to Kama Loka. Yana, a vehicle of any kind. In Buddhism, the vehicle or method of arriving at knowledge. For instance, Mahayana, the great method or school of northern Buddhism, termed the doctrine of the heart. Hinayana, the lesser method of southern Buddhism, the doctrine of the eye. Pratyeka Buddhayana, the method of the Pratyeka Buddha, seeking to obtain nirvana for oneself alone. Yin Xin, a Chinese term for the one force, the one form of existence. Yong Grub, literally absolute, a Tibetan term signifying absolute rest, the same as paranirvana. Yoni, the womb, also the female principle. Yudhishthira, one of the heroes of the Mahabharata, the eldest brother of Arjuna. Yuga, a cycle, a period of time, particularly the 4 ages, the Satya Yuga, the Treta Yuga, the Dvapara Yuga, the Kali Yuga, totaling 4,320,000 years, which is termed a Maha Yuga. Yuh Kai, the Tibetan equivalent of Kama Loka. In conclusion, I will cite a Sanskrit aphorism which is attributed to Yaska. Yad yad rupam kamayata devata tat tad devata bhavati. In translation, whatever the form desired by a divine being, that very form the divine being